So I would write these letters to her and she wouldn't reply. And one day we was driving in the car. I forget where we were coming from, but I know we were going home. I do remember we were going home, and I was telling her about like my little boyfriend I had at the time, and she did not like him. I was like 15, 16, and he had graduated high school, but he had graduated like just last year, so I didn't feel like it was too bad. But he was 18, so he was out of school, and her thing was he's a pedophile, and I just was like, it's only 2 years. Like me, it's only 2 years. Like that was my teenage reasoning, right? But I remember asking her, well, why don't you write back to me? Because in one of the letters I had expressed, like, you know, him coming to church with us or whatever, and she didn't reply back, and I had become like just over her not responding to me, replying to me, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just say it in the car. Pretty Ricky, that song, to put y'all in the time frame, Pretty Ricky had just came out, and to me it was like a new type of music because they were like talking slow, like singing slow, and then rapping or like speed singing. I was like, this song is stupid, but that's what I can remember about this conversation. And she just kind of looked at me like she smiled at me because I was so like young and naive in a sense, but the way she answered me was, you know, if she doesn't want to reply to me about something, then she doesn't have to. And I just was looking at her like, but if we can't talk, like you always tell me I can come and talk to you about stuff, but if I try to come and talk to you about something and then you don't reply, like, this doesn't make any sense. So from there, writing career, my writing journey, I took it into, you know, I was in programs for college preparedness. I was in this program called Gear Up, and Gear Up, I forget what the acronym stands for, but I'm pretty sure they still have Gear Up out there now. Shout out to Miss Reed. And I think her name was Miss Alvarez or something like that. But I definitely remember Miss Reed because she made a poem about a period, or she read a poem about a period, and I was like, this white lady is crazy because, ma'am, why are you reading me this poem right now? And Miss Cole, like, there was just a great deal of influential people around me at that time that allowed me to know that expressing myself in writing was a healthy outlet. And I appreciated them so much. It came to a point where in the program where, you know, they were selecting individuals based off their writing skills to go out to Washington, D.C. and do a speaking engagement. And I was like, yes, I got chosen. Oh my gosh, yes. Now, mind you, I'm the oldest of five children, right? And I go to my mom and I take her the paper. And I'm like, Mom, look at this, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I got picked to go out to Washington, D.C. And she shut that shit down. She's like, I'm not gonna let them do this to you. And I was like, them is trying trying to help me. Like, you know, like, I wanted to go to this so bad. Like, for so long, my heart has just been broken, was broken about not being able to go to Washington, D.C. and recite my poetry on that major platform for those individuals, and to be heard and to be seen amongst my peers who also felt that I deserved to be there. But yeah, 7th grade was when I really started writing my journal. I really started developing writing from a place of I don't care. My mom wasn't responsive to my letters, so I felt like if she went through my journal, she wasn't going to respond to that either. At least she know how I really felt, especially on days when she told me no. Like, what are you going to do? You don't do anything when I write to you now, so what are you going to do when you run up on this journal? Like, beat up the journal? The one person I was scared about reading my journal was my sister. She was, yeah, no, please don't read my journal, ma'am. I was terrified if she ever got a hold of my journal, but I felt like everybody could have got it in my journal at some point in time. And everybody kind of did, but, you know, yeah. What else? Things I want to share. So about my childhood, yeah, my mom did really good. She made sure we were in activities, you know, summer camps. We went on trips, we traveled. You know, it wasn't always, you know, the best traveling experience. You know, they would load up the car, put us all in the car. My sister's birthday is in May. So that's kind of like summer, you know, getting ready for summer. So they would pack us up all in the car. Maybe they would get a rental car, maybe they couldn't. But, you know, majority of the time, I think they would try to get a rental car. And off we would go to Orlando. My sister loved to go to this 2-story McDonald's. They didn't have any 2-story McDonald's in our city. So we would go to Orlando and 2-story McDonald's. And back then, they had this really big mall. And the mall had this like huge candy factory, and it was just like filled with candy everywhere. And I can just remember like one time we went, like it was just like they had a whole bunch of rock candy. It was like a rock candy room, like, you know, like a cotton candy area, and it was just like that was my mom and my stepdad, because I did grow up in a 2-parent household. And my stepdad is my younger sibling's dad, so he was there. It's just, you know, they would do the best that they could with the resources in the community that they had. And, you know, we would get in the car, we would go out there, you know, go to this little 2-story McDonald's. My sister, like, you know, they would take us, give us a little bit of money, get us dressed up nice and cute and everything. And, you know, that would be our summer trip. Now,